I failed this week, and that's a weird way to start out a YouTube video, but it's the truth. In this video, I want to talk about what happens when you fail when you're trying to make videos, when you're trying to be a content creator, and some of the challenges that you face. Even when you think you have done everything right, and according to your checklists and everything you've done in the past, you have done everything right. But yet, things can still go wrong, and they will go wrong. And how you react to that and how you overcome that, that's kind of what the focus of today's video is about. I actually run a couple of different YouTube channels. I have one called Matt Reviews Stuff and teaches things. I have another one called The Gentleman's Mentor. I have these multiple channels just as a way for me to do some different things creatively and kind of talk about some things and get better at making videos. That's really what it's all about. So this week I was making 2 different videos for each of those channels. So 2 videos total. But by the end of the week, I had recorded 4 videos and only 2 of those videos were usable. So let's start with the first one. I had everything set up. I actually recorded for well over a half an hour. And before I started recording, I had tested my audio, I had tested the video. Everything looked good. Everything seemed like it was working perfectly. And I'm good to go. So I recorded the video, and that meant hauling a bunch of stuff because I did it outside of my studio. I was outside. So I hauled a bunch of stuff, set up different microphones, recorded the video, came inside, was excited about the video. I thought, man, this one really worked out well. I'm getting ready to edit it, and I start pulling the raw footage into Adobe Premiere Pro, and what do I see? I'm out of focus. For whatever reason, the autofocus on my camera decided to focus just to the left or right of me. I can't remember which side it was, but the background was perfectly in focus, and I was out of focus, and I was just like crushed. Part of that was I was using this video footage to make another video. I had multiple cameras set up, and so the whole thing was to help me actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So when I get inside and I realize this video footage is out of focus, the first thought is, wow, I've now got to go back and I've got to do this entire video again. Mind you, I'd already packed everything up and put it away, thinking, okay, this is good, I'm done, let's move on to the next step in the process. So my first mistake at that point should have been checking the footage before I tore everything down. That is just something I didn't even think about. I never expected my camera to not focus properly. Other ways I could have avoided that is I could have made sure that the focus was good and then flipped my camera over to manual focus so that it wouldn't have changed. The challenge with that sometimes is it's really difficult on a little tiny screen to see if you're in focus. And by the time I would stand up to put it into manual focus, the camera would have focused in the background. So I need to have 2 people to really make that successful or to do it right. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I ended up reshooting that video. I did it a different day because I was actually that discouraged, and I just said, you know what, I cannot make that video again. I went and did it again, and it recorded fine in a totally different spot. I don't know what happened, but I did double check all my focus settings to make sure everything was right. So maybe that was part of it. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. Have you ever had a failure like this when you recorded a video? If so, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what kind of experiences you've had so that I don't feel so alone in this kind of situation. I felt really dumb. I was really frustrated with myself. So if this has happened to you, just leave a comment below and let me know. And when you're doing that, leaving that comment below helps encourage other creators to know that, hey, it happens and other people have gone through this. If you've got a funny story about what went wrong, I would love to hear that as well. So make sure you stop and leave that in the comment and keep watching because I'm going to give you some tips on how to overcome some of these things. Anyway, moving on, that video was done. So the second video I went to make, it's a little bit more complicated video in that it was a tech tutorial for my channel, Matt Reviews Stuff and Teaches Things. I was doing a tutorial on how to do some work in Adobe Premiere Pro. And so I use OBS Studio. If you're familiar with OBS Studio, it's a great way to handle multiple inputs. So the computer's recording the computer screen, the camera's feeding an input in, and it's recording the video. I've got audio going on. And I actually had multiple audio streams because I had my microphone going. And then I was recording the computer audio too because I was doing a video on how to synchronize audio in Premiere Pro. So same kind of thing. I do this whole thing. I get everything set up. I test it. Everything works great. The audio sounds good. The video looks good. The screen capture's working. So I go through this entire process, and it's a somewhat involved process. Again, I spent about 20 minutes on this particular video. And of course that meant building stuff in Adobe Premiere Pro, doing the editing, testing it, all that kind of stuff. And so I was pretty excited about this video. Same thing. I tore everything down thinking I got this video in the bag. Let's just go ahead and edit this and we'll get the process going. I pull the video into Adobe Premiere Pro, and this time the video looks great and there is no audio. I only had the audio out of my computer, the desktop audio. I did not have any of my audio where I was speaking. So now I've got a second video that's useless. And my first thought was, well, I could probably overdub this video. But the problem is I chose to record myself in the bottom corner of the screen, which meant you could see my lips moving the entire time, and they would have totally been out of sync because there's no way I'm able to redo that and remember what I said. So that was another case of I had to reset everything back up, double check everything, and run it again. Now this time I did choose to make that video right away because I've already got everything basically lined up and I knew what I needed to do. I went back, I double checked all my settings in OBS. I really don't know what went wrong on that one because I went back and looked and everything was the same. I didn't change anything. I did a small test record and it seemed fine. I recorded the full video and it was fine and it's uploaded now. So all this to say, I took a lot of preparation. I ran through my checklists. I made sure I did all of the things I normally do to make sure I'm going to be successful when I record videos, because I'll be honest with you, nobody wants to record videos 2 times, but it's happened to me more than I care to admit. And so the purpose of this video is to encourage you and remind you that sometimes you're going to do everything right and it's just not going to work out. Sometimes there's just going to be a mistake. There are going to be things that are outside of your control. Could be background noise. Your camera could break. The camera could stop focusing. Who knows? It's technology and it has a habit of breaking. It shouldn't happen, but it does. How you recover from that is what's going to determine whether you're successful at YouTube or not. Because you have the option. Once this happens, you can just give up. You can say, you know what? That video didn't work out. I'm done. I'm not recording another video. I'm just going to move on and do something else. And that's probably the wrong move. I hate when people just give up because you're doing a disservice to your audience at that point. They have needs and you have the ability to fill their needs with the content you create. So I think it's important for you to remember that when this happens, just like everything in life, sometimes you get knocked off the horse, but you've just got to get back up and go again. And my advice is if you can just redo that video right away, that's probably the best time because the content is still fresh in your head and it might actually be a better video. Sometimes those second takes are better because maybe you thought of something after the fact that you can incorporate on this next video. So what I'm truly trying to say is making YouTube videos is hard. There's a reason why not many people do it, or there's a reason why you'll see so many YouTube channels that have 4 videos and then people give up because this is hard. So I want to encourage you, like, you're doing a good job and we're with you. We understand every creator has gone through these type of things. Every creator has had a great idea and it falls flat. Every creator's had a technical problem or multiple technical problems. I've been a photographer for 20 years. I've been doing video for a long time. And so it even happens to me. Like these things just happen. So you've got to plan for it. You've got to know that it is going to happen. But then the next important thing is when it does happen, get back up on the horse and try again. So a couple pieces of advice that I can tell you to take away from this. Right after you record a video, check the footage and make sure it's good. Make sure it's usable. Because if you tear everything down and have to set it back up again, odds are you're going to struggle to do that because nobody wants to do work twice. So if you leave everything set up, if you have the capability to check the footage right away, do that. I'd recommend not doing it on the back of your camera on your phone because you really can't see in detail whether things are in focus or not. You can't hear properly. So try to do it on a computer where you can look at it. But if you don't have that, at a bare minimum, look at it on your phone or on the back of the camera and make sure that you've got the footage there. And then the other piece of that is, again, don't tear everything down until you've verified the footage because it'll make your life a lot easier. You can just sit right back down, figure out what went wrong, and start recording again. And you'll be much more likely to do that. If you're finding this content useful, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I've got a link in the description below, and I'll also pin a comment with that. I try to send out a newsletter at least once a week that kind of covers YouTube news and topics and some of the things that I'm facing when I'm going through my YouTube channel. I'm still growing my channel as well. I've been doing YouTube for quite a while, and I actually manage other channels, and I have a good sense of what works and what doesn't work on YouTube, and I am an open book. I love to share the information I have. So if you're interested in that, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. If you found this video useful, it would be amazing if you'd smash the like button, just so I know that this is the type of content that's resonating with people. And if you feel like you know somebody that could use this video, then please, by all means, share it with them. And finally, if you found this really useful, it'd be awesome if you subscribed and hit the little bell so you get notified when the next video comes up. And until then, I will see you in the next video.